Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this video is something that I've actually done before, but I did want to do it again because it has changed so much. This is going to be my current favorite brushes, what I use them for, and really like what I'm grabbing for on a daily basis as far as tools to do my makeup. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching, and please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload 3 times a week. That is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to see what brushes I use every single day, keep on watching. So the first tool obviously has to be the giant fan. I get mine from Swish Embassy. I'll link it down below. But I think that nothing sets your setting spray better. And like if I don't talk about this, I feel like I'm doing a giant disservice to everybody watching my videos. Obviously, my favorite thing to apply a foundation with is my beauty blender or a beauty sponge. Yes, it's filthy. I used it today. Sorry. But on the off chance that I am going to be using a foundation brush, I love the JH03, which is the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill foundation brush. It's very similar to the M439, but I find that the hairs are a little bit more densely packed, so it sucks up less product, and you really get a nice, smooth, airbrushed finish. On the rare occasion I do use a brush, this is the one I use, but I do always take my beauty sponge and just kind of pat over it, just to give myself the finish that I like from the sponge. Next, to set my under eye, this is the Morphe Y11 brush. I find that it just fits right in that under eye area really well. I can also really just taper and set just what I want to set with this, and it's beautiful, super durable. I know that they are discontinuing this line, so they do have a similar brush. It is the M438, but I do think it's a little more tapered. It does get into everything just as well. I just prefer the bristles on this one a little bit more. Next, to powder the whole face, this is something I actually only recently acquired and have not been able to put it down. This is the Jeffree Star and Morphe JS2. This is just such the perfect brush for just diffusing a light amount of powder. The bristles are not super dense, so it's not picking up a whole lot more product than you need, and it's just really good at just getting the perfect amount of product on the face. You can use it for a light setting powder, you can use it for a powder foundation. However, if I'm going to use a powder foundation, I do actually prefer the JS01, which is a little bit more of a densely packed foundation powder brush if I really want to like pat in any powder products. For eyeshadow primer, also from the Jeffree Star collection, it is the JS3. I just love the way that this pats in my eyeshadow. I used to use the M536, but I found that it sucked up a whole lot more product, and I like that this really just doesn't pick up too much. It just takes exactly what you need and diffuses it beautifully. For bronzer, this is the Sonia Kashuk number 29. It is a blush brush, but I just love the way it fits into this area for putting on a nice amount of bronzer. It's nice and fluffy. I do love the original Sonia Kashuk number 1 powder brush, which is massive. Very similar to the Jeffree Star one I've been liking, but I find that these bristles are a little bit more fanned out. I get a little bit more of a controlled approach with that one, so I do like it a little bit more. But for bronzer, this one it's so effortless. It's just really fitting under the cheekbones, and so you don't have to do a lot of cleanup work. For contour, this is the IT Cosmetics number 704. It is a flat top that I love for just fit right under the cheekbone. I find, and if I'm not using this, I'm using the JH05 because both of these give that same approach. I just really like the flat head to this just for getting in there. This is the one I used today just because this one was still drying from me cleaning it. But I love the way that this just deposits into the skin. It is beautiful. For blush, this is the JH04. This is just such a light powder brush that this will really deposit anything beautifully, and it's so soft and so tapered that you can actually powder the whole face with this very gently. I did on my review with this brush. Just so effortless at applying a nice amount of blush. As you know, I don't love a heavy hand in blush, so if I'm going to be doing something with blush, I do like it to be a little bit more gentle so that I can build it up at my pace and it doesn't get too overpowering. The 2 brushes I love to highlight with, I do love the Morphe R39. It's beautiful, but lately I've been loving the combo of the Fenty Beauty Shark Tooth Cheek Highlighting Palette. I love that it just hits the brow bone and then goes down the cheek beautifully. Super easy to use, super beautiful. I love it. Such an innovative shape, and it works better than pretty much any other brush. When I'm not using that, or sometimes in conjunction, I will take the Sephora number 73 Precision Blush Brush. I just love the way that this applies highlighter to the cheekbone. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to dip into the Maybelline Master Chrome that I put on today. I actually did a tutorial on this whole look. It'll be coming, this is going up on Monday, today. I'm actually filming this today. This is going to go up on Monday, and then Thursday you'll see the tutorial. But I'll take a tiny bit of this on the brush, and I'll just really accentuate the cheekbone with it. And you see how it lives up to the name of Precision Highlighter Brush, because it really just adds a beautiful glow and deposits exactly where you want it to go. Now, I have a whole lot of favorite eyeshadow brushes, but I'm really just going to limit it to the ones that I grabbed for every single day. So the first one, which is the brush I like to start every eyeshadow look with, this is the Morphe M504. It is a fairly fluffy, tapered brush. I just find that this is the perfect brush for really just blending out any first transition shade. It diffuses product beautifully and just gives you that all-around beautiful buffed out glow. This is something that I've seen people use as like a precision highlighter brush. It's a little small for that for me, but I do love the way that this just fits in my eye area. When I'm done with that, I like to go in with a flat shader brush. This is the JS6 from Jeffree Star. It fits right on the outer corner to add this color. It buffs really beautifully into the crease for defining that entire crease work, and it really just helps for you to get a really blended shape. I also love how pointed it is, because I will actually take this right on the lower lash line and use it to blend out any shadows down below. So after I go in with that brush, these lines can get a little harsh, so I go into the Sephora number 38. And this is that last brush I like to take just for some precision blending. I find that it just helps everything to look really blended and really smooth and really beautiful. And it just fits so nicely in the actual socket of the eye. I don't like to take brushes in the socket of the eye because it actually does shrink the eye. But after everything else, I do think that you really want that area to be nicely blended, and this is perfect. Last three brushes. The first is the Jaclyn Hill 41, which is the perfect shader brush for applying a shimmer shade to the lid. It's just a lot denser than anything I've used, and I know a lot of these are Morphe, but genuinely, for the price point, they are amazing. I just love the way that this deposits color. You can use it wet or dry. Stunning. Then we have our pencil brush, which is the Morphe E36. This just deposits color directly into the waterline so beautifully. I used a purple shadow over a purple liner today. This was the trick. Like, this is what it took to really get that color nice and defined. I did blow it out and smoke it out with some other brushes, but this is the one that really helped with that purple. And the last brush, which is the M213. You'll remember she did me very dirty in my random brush challenge, which I'll link up here, but this is my precision This is my precision highlighting brush, perfect for the inner corners, the brow bones. If you really want to like precisely detail the tip of the nose or the cupid's bow, this is going to help. And I find that just such a tiny brush like this is necessary in everybody's collection, just for any of those little things that you really just want to tighten up and clean up a little bit nicer. I've also used this to clean up under winged liner before. I've dipped it into makeup remover to really clean up harsh edges. This stuff just works really, really well. This is a brush, it's not plural. But this brush works really well for really any of those hard to reach pinpoint areas. So that is it. Those are my current favorite brushes. I do know a lot of them are Morphe, but honestly, for a brush that's under like $8, like I've spent a lot on some other brushes before. Like I have Sigma brushes I've spent $30 on. I have some great brushes. These are the ones I just reach for because I feel like for the price point and for how soft and beautiful they are, like nothing is going to really diffuse quite as nicely. Plus it doesn't break the bank. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know down below what are some of your favorite brushes, because I would love to get your recommendations. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.